Okay, we're at Market East or Jefferson Station on this August 25th. Going to catch the 1254 to Wawa. Opened up just a few days ago on the 21st. Regardless of what kind of equipment this train has, I'm going to ride it. Now here comes train 2315 into Jefferson at 1257, bound for Wawa. He's got GEs. Well, beggars can't be choosers. I'll record part of the ride down and get the whole ride coming back, because undoubtedly he'll have the same equipment. Well, it's been a while since I rode on one of these things, because I generally do everything in my power to avoid riding on them. I prefer the 5s, but since this is a special occasion, riding a new extension of a branch, I had to pretty much take what I could get. I'll at least try to get a front view on the Silverliner 4 into Wawa. Just pulled out of Moylan Rose Valley. Into Media. Media was the terminus for most trains back in Pennsylvania Railroad days, early Penn Central days. Of course, trains went to Westchester until 1986. At that time it was cut back and it was cut off at Elwyn. 36 years later, the trains are extended to Wawa. Back when Westchester-bound trains were running, there were 3 intermediate stops between Elwyn and Wawa. Williamson School, Glen Riddle, and Lenny, or Lenai. They were about 7/10 of a mile apart. We just left Media. Like I said, between Elwyn and Wawa, there used to be 3 intermediate stops. Williamson School, Glen Riddle, and Lenai, or Lenny, whatever. About 7/10 of a mile apart. Now it's just non-stop from Elwyn to Wawa. And our next stop will be Elwyn, the original terminal on the line. The end of the line at Wawa, only about 2 or 3 miles beyond that, is Glen Mills. From Glen Mills to Westchester is where the Westchester Tourist Railroad runs. It would be nice if they could extend that tourist railroad into Wawa to make connections to Septa. Years ago, the New Hope and Ivyland ran all the way down to Warminster to connect with Septa. It was very popular, but I guess it wasn't that popular. They did away with it. It's 2 tracks. Goes to single iron once you get beyond Elwyn. The service has only been extended for 5 days. Well, this train will make a turnaround and go out at 2:08 at Wawa back to Norristown. But the next train that comes in will have Silverliner 5s. So we'll hang around and wait for that one. Get a head-in ride in some way back to Philadelphia. Maybe I'll just ride it all the way to Norristown. There's the absolute signal there. It's a steady green. It's not a cab signal indicator. Alright, this will be, I wouldn't say unexplored territory, but re-explored territory after a 36-year absence. I did ride out to Westchester on Septa in 1986 before they cut the service back. Wawa is next. Like nice railroad. Right around here is where Williamson School Station used to be. Crew member up front is having his lunch. Yeah, some critter boarded on the rails. Glen Riddle is where the Chester branch joins up. See if you can see any remnants of it. This is very wild country. Lots of deer. When they had their first run out here, there were a lot of close calls with deer. Nice horn. Reminds me of a blind date I once had. Plain Jane. Nothing too exciting. Needless to say, I didn't marry her. Well, here's the Lenny storage yard. Nothing here now, but there will be later. Okay, cab signals. Okay, we're coming into Wawa. Septa's newest station. Wawa is named after that famous store chain that competes with companies like Sheetz and Turkey Hill in Pennsylvania. It's a center high platform out in the middle of nowhere, it looks like. How far down does the track go? Now commuters will be asking for service to be restored to Westchester. And automatic block on that sign. Okay, here we are. Wawa, Pennsylvania. A new sign for the trains. Free parking at the parking lot here until the end of the year. Rather large parking garage on the west side. Yeah, tracks go beyond a little ways. I don't know how far. The wire is continuing, but Wawa is finally open. The long-awaited Wawa extension. Yeah, this station is out in the sticks. It's a little ways west of US Route 1. You would think at this Wawa station they'd have a Wawa convenience store nearby, but I don't see anything. And this will make up the equipment for train 6222 bound for Norristown Elm Street, due out at 2:08. That flashing green means that the train can proceed according to cab signal indication. All aboard, I think. There was a woman running up the platform who looked like she wanted to board, and then for some reason she changed her mind. Maybe she wanted to get on a train going in the other direction. There ain't no other direction. And he stopped down there. Yeah, from the platform here at Wawa, you'll note a little stream. Looks very inviting. I almost feel like wading in there. It's 90 degrees right now, but thankfully the humidity isn't too bad. You know, it's nice and cool down under the tracks in the bowels of the station. Here you get to see all the different Wawa insignias that existed through their creation. 1964, 1974, 1990, 2004. Supposedly they offered hoagies for people riding the train out here on the first day. I don't know if they did. They had a shrink-wrapped set of Silverliner 5s painted up in Wawa colors. Well, it tells you where you can find a Wawa store near here. 8/10 of a mile. It's a little too hot to walk 8/10 of a mile. Fortunately, I have a drink in my pocket that I bought at the downtown Wawa store in Philadelphia on 12th and Market. There's the station over the stream here. And the parking garage, where the parking is free for the rest of 2022. This busy road alongside the station here at Wawa is US Highway 1. Runs between Fort Kent, Maine and Key West, Florida. In Philadelphia, it's Roosevelt Boulevard. In Westchester County in Connecticut, it's the Boston Post Road.